Hello and welcome to an early episode of No Load Time. This is episode 165. My name is Ovid Villas, and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good? No load time. Obed, good to be with you again, my friend. Early in the week, like you mentioned, we're doing this, recording this on a Wednesday. So you guys get this a little earlier in your week if you're also listening to the podcast version. So you're welcome.
Yeah, there you go. You're welcome. Yeah, especially if you're running theories, Star Wars theories out of our podcast. That's there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. What's up, man? How are you?
Yeah, man, I'm doing pretty good. Been a little busy playing a little bit more both Switch and PlayStation. I love my Switch, dude. Like obviously I go on my PS5 to play these epic adventures. That's kind of like my more of a role playing kind of guy. That's what I look to in the next gen. And now obviously right now there's a limited next gen games that just came out. So going back and playing some old stuff. But when I jump on my Switch, it's just to have that mindless fun, quick whatever. I mean, whether it's Sonic and the Olympic Games, Smash, I know that I still need to pick up Breath of the Wild. I saw it on sale
Yep.
the other day with Best Buy. I was about to pull the trigger. I didn't do it,
Uh,
but I need to do it for sure.
Game's real
Um,
good.
yeah, man, it's real good. It's real good. Excited this week. We got WandaVision coming out on Friday.
Yeah,
So yeah, dude, I'm pretty good here. How are you doing?
cool. Doing good. Other than going to deep rabbit holes on YouTube.
I might be
Not
doing
not
wellness
to
check in
worry.
Obed.
Not to worry. I'm not going into the fringe stuff. It's more of a let's say it's research. It's proper research. But doing well, man. I got to play a ton of Smash with my daughter, and we unlocked everyone. So that was a lot of fun. And we're pretty much addicted to playing team battle. So that's been pretty much everything that's been going on the gaming side. I finally got those two bosses on Bloodborne, so I'm done. I'm done. I actually I yeah yeah you gotta get good for those two bosses that I had left, because there were one of them. I mean, both of them are probably number one and number two, the toughest bosses that I've played on any game ever. So it was pretty intense. Even like I finished Ninja Gaiden Sigma on PS3 on the Ninja Master difficulty, and and those two bosses were not, like, that final boss or whatever boss of that game was not as hard as this two. They're real hard. I mean, I'm talking Ninja Gaiden Sigma. That was like 13 years ago. So my reactions were a lot quicker. But it was a good experience, just having to just going back and playing a very challenging game. Interestingly enough, I never finished Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 on Ninja Master. I got stuck in one area, and I just stopped playing it. Um, but yeah, that's been it gaming wise. I did watch a movie, an old movie. It's funny because it's a movie that I remember you talking about it when I was in the closet. Um, so it's been a while. It's been a
Yep.
while. I
Wow.
finally got around to watching Kong Skull Island.
That's crazy, dude. The other day I was about to watch that movie on HBO Max.
Yeah, that's where I watched it.
Yeah, yeah,
So, and I watched it more out of curiosity, right?
yeah.
Because Jordan Vogt Roberts is directing the Metal Gear movie, and I know that this movie links into Godzilla. I mean, I got both Godzilla movies on Blu-ray, and I know that the last Godzilla ends with the "Oh, Kong's coming." So right, knowing that, right, I went into that movie with like curiosity. I was not expecting anything out of it. Um, Bro, that movie is really well directed. I
It's a
was.
funny movie too.
It's good. It's well written. But just the direction of it, I was like, the panning shots and it was so good. I was like, man, this kid's on point, man. I'm really excited for Metal Gear now. Also, it's like super on the nose that he's a Metal Gear fan. Because there's like stuff during that movie, right? The David Bowie songs and the helicopter playing music when they're coming down, and I mean, although that was a Vietnam era thing, they're playing music to like demoralize your opponents or your whatever, right? But then it's like Fox Squadron, and then the boat's name is Gray Fox. It's like, this is like really on the nose, and I really appreciate it. But the Metal Gear stuff aside, because it was good, right? It was very well directed. Like what you said, it's funny. The action is good. Like Kong looks great. The action sequences are really good. In my opinion, this is actually a better Kong movie than the Peter Jackson remake. Because the Peter Jackson remake it's a remake of a remake of a movie already at that point, right? It's the second remake that we've gotten of Kong. Of course, there's the original Kong, there's the 1970s remake, and then there's the Peter Jackson remake. So, very well lit, everything. Dude, I was blown away. I was like, this movie was actually really freaking good.
And doesn't it not? It makes you more hyped for that fight between Godzilla and Kong. Like, that's gonna be epic, bro.
Yeah, and like they stated, like Kong is huge, right? But he's not Godzilla huge in this movie. But they said it's like, oh, like he's still like a juvenile. He's still growing. Like,
right.
Yeah. So I really want to see where they're going, right? And they're gonna fight against each other, but then they're gonna join forces at the end. We know that that's what's gonna happen. Yeah. But I really like that. The acting was good. The cast was great. I forgot that this movie had like freaking like everyone in it. It was great.
Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, Nick Fury. I mean, Sam Jackson. Like, right. It's like
John C. Reilly,
Marvel stars and one. Yeah, C. Reilly.
Yeah, which John C. Reilly was in the remake, on the Kong remake.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, really enjoyed it, man. That was
good.
That was a very pleasant surprise, man. Very, very pleasant surprise. So, I haven't watched any more Voltron because I'm still playing Bloodborne. Like, I'm still grinding at it, and I actually started doing those dungeons. I may not continue those, right? But now I'm itching to play Sekiro, but I've been holding off until I get a PS5 to play Sekiro. So I don't know. I want to play it proper. By the way, did you see that they released the PS5 patch for Fallen Order?
I did see that today.
Yeah. It says improved resolution and textures and improved frame rate. So
that makes me just want to do another playthrough really quick on it.
Might be worth it, because I've seen it on PC, like running full spec on PC, and it looks freaking spectacular, dude.
It's a good game.
So it's really good game, man. Speaking of games, we can transition into that. It's
absolutely,
it's pretty good. Joe, Lucasfilm is known to be the company of missed opportunities. How can you miss the opportunity to rename to name your gaming division Lucasarts, and instead of just Lucasfilm Games? Missed opportunity there. On the bright side, they are expanding, and we got some news about that. But what do you think of the name? What do you think of the initiative? Because Disney, at least up until now, right, for the last, I want to say 10 years, since what was the name of the toy one? Disney No, it wasn't Disney Galaxy. Disney Universe.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, fact check it on the fly. The Toys to Life one.
And you used to have to like scan them or something.
Yeah. It was like the Amiibo before the Amiibo.
Yes, it was like
Disney Infinity.
There it is.
Yeah. So when Disney Infinity closed down, Disney basically closed all their gaming divisions, and they said, "Oh, we're just gonna license stuff out and other studios can make Disney games under a Disney license. Uh, that's when the EA partnership got announced, and Xbox did its thing. So very interesting that they're actually going back to this initiative. I did not foresee this coming, but before we jump into the two announcements that we have regarding those games, so what do you think of this?
It was nice news to hear because it's not that they've been going in a bad direction. Like, EA has been able to, try to fix some of their mistakes by, fixing, Battlefront 2. They did do right by it in the end, and we've said it before. It's a game that is really underrated. After the new version of the game, right? That came out after launch, right?
Yeah,
Then you look at obviously Fallen Order being a really spectacular experience, what we had signed up for initially. But what's been more disappointing is that like they've been so stuck with just this exclusivity is like they've not been able to make more games than they should have. They've killed a lot of projects. They just haven't had the resources, whatever the
yeah,
situation is, and it's been a problem. And now with them going in this direction, Lucasfilm Games, like it gives them a lot of ambiguity, and it makes me, wonder what other things are going to be going on. We'll talk in a bit about those projects that are already coming out from this, but it does make me think like this is a great timing for them to do this. I'm happy that they have this ownership, this umbrella that they're working under. I'm not crazy about the name either, but I don't really care either. At the same time, it's just one of those, like you said, missed opportunities is the right wording for sure.
yeah,
But it's very like obvious, like games. This is our games division, very on the nose. But yeah, I'm really happy to see that they're taking this step, and I look forward to the future of Lucasfilm Games because now we're going to have a lot of diversification in the types of Star Wars games that come out because it's not going to just be EA, which I'm not hating on them, like I made it clear, but yeah, I
yeah.
mean, there's like I don't without getting into it, like there's certain companies that probably wouldn't put their hands on it, like you're probably not going to see Naughty Dog make a Star Wars game because that's not their thing.
But it
Um,
would like it really wouldn't surprise me, right? If
right.
Sony says it's like, hey, so Disney, we got a little game called Spider Man, right? Um, so what do you think if you let us do this thing? I'm pretty sure that they'll say yes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and
Exactly. It makes you question like what possibilities.
yeah, I mean, we know for sure that EA is working on two projects at least. They are working, or Dice is working on a next gen Battlefront. That's rumored to come out next year after the next Battlefield comes out. And they're also, and then we know that Fallen Order is getting a sequel. So we got those two for sure. What LCA is working on, we don't know, right? But talk about reviving a franchise, right? Because I know that we're getting a movie here in about a year or so, but out of nowhere we get this announcement that Machine Games, part of the Bethesda family, is working on an Indiana Jones game. That's a big one, being now that this is technically a Microsoft studio. I'm sure that this is not going to be an Xbox exclusive. Could you imagine them doing like a well, no, because of what we're gonna talk about next. But it makes me wonder, right? What kind of approach they're going to have to this game? Machine Games is known for first-person shooters mostly. Um, is this going to be another first person adventure, or is this going to be more of an adventure kind of Uncharted sort of game? What is it? What are we going to see more? We don't know. Maybe summer, maybe around the E3 time. I'm pretty sure there's no E3 this year. Or they're going, if there's E3, they're going to have like a virtual showcase, kind of like what CES is doing, which is probably going to be the right approach based on how things are going, especially in California. So I think that maybe summer we'll know more about this project. But yeah, what do you think, man?
No, so the Indiana Jones one got me pretty hyped because the first comparison everyone makes is, of course, Uncharted, because
Yeah,
Uncharted is very much an Indiana Jones esque game and franchise. But like that's just it, right? Like whenever you play it, you're always thinking of indie, but there's nothing like indie when you actually have indie, and that was one of the cool parts of just in general the Lucasfilm games, right? Like it's not Star Wars games, it's Lucasfilm games, and Indiana Jones is a part of the Lucasfilm family, so it's nice to see them not just pushing Star Wars,
yeah,
but getting right to it straight out the bat. Let's get Indiana Jones out there on the market.
yeah,
I think that's a great move. I'm very, very excited about that opportunity because it can be its own thing.
yeah.
You know,
And I think that um, when what they're trying to do, right, and we talked about them trying to diversify. It's with this Lucasfilm Games. It's I may end up just calling it Lucasarts. Lucasfilm Games. What they're trying to do, it's probably diversify. It's like not only be Star Wars. Now they're bringing indie. Maybe they'll bring in something else at a later time.
Willow. I don't know,
Willow,
man.
Labyrinth.
Yeah,
Who knows, right?
yeah,
So, they that's probably what they're trying to do. They're trying to just expand to not just Star Wars, and have them and have other studios just take care of that. But when it comes to Star Wars, Joel, just this morning we learned that Ubisoft is making an open world Star Wars adventure. I can see Joe grinning ear to ear because it's gonna be Assassin's Creed Star Wars.
yes,
Assassin's Creed Tatooine.
yes.
You get to
Oh man.
sneak around Tatooine. But yeah, joking aside, man. This I think it's a great idea based on a game like and again you can refresh my memory because my point of reference for Assassin's Creed is Black Flag, right? And I
Which is a
really
great
enjoyed that game.
reference. That's a great reference.
But on Black Flag, it's not just the one open world; it's multiple open worlds that you get through
Absolutely.
by navigating. So this very well could be that. This very well could be different planets. Um, in the Ubisoft vein, they're probably going to be populated and lots of people and creatures and whatnot. Um, how they're going to tie it in, who are you going to play as, all this stuff is unknown. TBD. Cautiously optimistic, but optimistic nonetheless because of EA no longer having a stranglehold on the franchise. So I know that you're excited, dude.
Absolutely. I mean, when I play a game like Jedi Fallen Order or Battlefront, the next thing you say is, okay, we've got two really good genres here. Where do we get our open world Star Wars game? Where do we get this game where we could just jump in and do plenty of different activities around these different worlds and different environments? And, we've not had that experience. And when I heard that it was Ubisoft, you instantly hit me up about this. I was like, nah, man, this is a match made in the video game heavens, bro. This is a great, great match. And it's not because, yes, of course, I love Assassin's Creed, right? So just from a standpoint of gameplay, like immediately I imagine like flip that switch of instead of a pirate sword, but you've got a
A
Jedi or Sith
lightsaber.
just running around, just going
Bro, you can play as
crazy,
a
bro.
Sith. That
Right?
would
I
be
mean,
awesome because that
but
would
if
like
it's
turn it upside down, right? Because you're always expecting a Jedi, you're always expecting a bounty hunter, you're always expecting some, a rebel.
right,
What about like a Sith? Not like not even a fully fleshed Sith, but
Darth
like
Maul,
like
bro.
Ventress.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And you just go around having these stories that are interconnected between
yeah.
the Clone Wars and whatever. I mean, it's like this is a great, great opportunity for them to have a whole lot of fun and see a side of Star Wars that we haven't seen in video games. That it's not just regular adventure. It's
Could you
very
imagine
much
this
open
being
to
in a?
many possibilities.
Can you imagine this being an Ahsoka game? and this is basically Ahsoka during the Empire years, trying to
Survive.
survive, and or like after, like between Rebels and Mando, like that period of time, right? It's like, what did Ahsoka do between this and that? So, hmm, that's a wishful thinking at this
I
point,
know,
right?
man. I know, but they
But
can make multiple. I mean, with this, we'll start with their first. We'll see what it is. That'll give us an
yeah,
indication. But yeah, I could totally see them go in that direction of telling those side stories, but
yeah,
easily intertwining like the lore from those untold times. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but I again, they should surprise us and do something like flip it on its head. Like instead of playing like a Jedi or bounty hunter or something that we expect, have something unexpected. It's like, oh, you play as someone like Mayfield from Mando. Like, oh, I used to be a stormtrooper, and I mean, we already saw that with Battlefront 2 already.
Yeah.
So they should definitely do something different.
Dude, I want a sword. Open world. I want a lightsaber, bro.
Yeah, I think Fallen Order is doing a great job with that though.
It
But
is. It
you
sure
gotta you
is.
gotta wait till we get Fallen Order 2. Um,
Sure.
yeah, we'll see. I'm excited. I'm excited about it. Um, I mean, there's no more info other than it's open
Yeah, it's
world.
speculation at this point.
Yeah. I know that EA put out a thing because I guess they reached out to EA, uh, saying that Wired actually reached out to EA, and got a statement from EA because they've been holding the license for the last 10 years, and they said that they were
They
still gonna.
altered they altered the deal.
Yeah, they should pray that they don't alter it any further.
There it is.
Yeah, yep. So EA said EA has been and will continue to be a very strategic and important partner for us, now and going forward. So that is from Sean Shoptaw, who is the Senior VP of Global Games and Interactive Experiences at Disney. So there you go. Yeah,
I believe that.
yeah. I mean, they're probably expanding, right? Because we know that the EA deal was done, and they they were, based on what we heard, they're happy with the Battlefront numbers, and then Fallen Order came out, and they're happy with that. But they just want to probably expand, and do more stuff because they could be doing a lot more with a franchise, instead of just depending on EA to crank out a game every 2 years. They can have a yearly game now,
Oh,
with
absolutely.
like EA and Bethesda. Who knows, again, what other deals are there? I mean, is did they already talk to Disney, because this guy already talks to, no, I'm sorry, they talk to Sony, because they're already in with Sony and Spider-Man. They're probably not gonna talk to Square Enix about making a Star Wars game, because they really dropped the ball on that one, man. Man, that Avengers game, dude. You don't even, you
I
haven't
don't
even
even
bought
own
it
it.
yet.
I mean, I'll get it. When it's gonna be cheap now,
It's
so
gonna be on
that's
PS
that's a
Plus
chance.
free
Yeah,
one day.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's gonna
man.
be the one.
Yeah, it's crazy that game just, like, no one talks about it, and
Yeah,
that I think that game did worse than Anthem, because at
really.
least I think that people still like talk about Anthem, even if it's to take a crap on it, but no one talks about Avengers.
Yeah, they made that thing disappear. That's Disney PR. No,
Yeah, I know, right?
yeah, they made that thing disappear. But Star Wars games, like you said. So the next one we have coming up in our immediate future is basically next year Battlefront, and of course this year
Yeah,
is Lego Star Wars, which I actually will pick up. Not gonna lie to you, I think I'll pick them up on the Switch.
yeah. That'd be a good pairing for the Switch. Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
super graphics intensive. It's a cutesy
right.
game. Yeah, yeah. That'd be a good pairing. It's a cutesy game. Who's Those are WB, right? The Lego games.
Yes.
So that means that there's something going on, right? Like, although I mean,
Telltale
this
Games.
this Lego games are, not necessarily crazy to make, right? They're simple assets, and that's what takes more time on games now. It's just asset building and all this stuff. So just putting out a Lego game is not. I mean, it is
They delayed it
intensive.
though, man. That was supposed to be coming out like October last year.
Yeah. Well,
Like
everything's
quickly
getting
became.
delayed. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
understandable. I don't know if you saw that the Harry Potter game got delayed too. This they announced it today.
Oh, I didn't see that.
The RPG that they
Hmm.
were putting out, yeah, that got delayed till next year. And
Wow.
there was another game that got delayed. Oh, what was it? Let's see. It was a big one. Hold on.
Delays, delays. 2021 just started.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is gonna happen. We all knew. Um, yeah. So Hogwarts Legacy is getting delayed. Uh, oh no, that's not what's getting delayed. It's Morbius, but that's getting delayed for a whole different reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Morbius is getting delayed like 6 months, but it's because of COVID, not because of the movie's not done. Because they're done. Yeah, that was the other thing.
Interesting.
That was the other thing that was announced like either like late yesterday or this morning that Morbius is getting delayed to like October or something. So
Hmm.
yeah, so that was supposed to come out in April, I think. So yeah, I mean that's a good October movie if you ask me.
Yeah.
Did you see that the Venom 2 is rated R?
I did see that.
That's
I
nuts.
believe it.
Yeah,
No, Disney's in control of it anymore, but it seems like regardless, they're still more open to that.
yeah. And now with Kevin Feige confirming that Deadpool
Yes.
is officially part of the MCU, and they are moving forward with a third movie, and it's still going to be rated R. So a lot of fans are happy. I'm happy because the humor, even though it's sometimes juvenile and all, it's Deadpool, right? This is what makes the character, and I think keeping that the sort of humor intact and carrying it over really will be a big deal. So
It, I
so I'm
I don't think
happy.
anyone anticipated them changing what it's already has been. I mean, people have speculated if he crossed over into
Yeah,
like an Avengers movie or something, then his character gets toned down. But like just on his own, I mean, that would be I mean, it's like what $1 billion franchise or whatever. So I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
they're not gonna make those changes. Iger, Bob and Bob, they know.
Bob Bob from
They,
corporate.
yep, and they know.
Yeah. So that was the you know against Ryan Reynolds is heavily involved, and he's been key to the success of both films. I think I'm one of those that think that the second is actually better than the first one. It's I think it's freaking hilarious. It's great. The action's great. It's well directed, and uh, the humor is on point. On the first one was like trying too hard, right? It was good, but it kind of like was a little bit edgier with its humor, just probably because he was trying to make a point, right? But once the point was made, I think the second one actually was a lot smoother. Like the joke delivery on the second one was a lot smoother. So that's my opinion. But yeah, so pretty good stuff there. If you're a fan of Deadpool, that your Merc with a mouth is still good to go.
And they're crossing over characters. I mean, now we know that Deadpool's officially a part of, the MCU, and they're saying that they will. Straight up said in an interview with Collider that whether it be comic books, video games, Marvel Television, he exclusively named, the Netflix characters, any of those things are all open to their disposal and they're fully considering and stay tuned because any of those properties can cross into their cinematic universe at any time. And he's basically treating it the same way like they did in the comics. Like things happen, people
Yeah,
cross over randomly, storylines interchange that had nothing to do with anything. Which is very interesting because literally just I think it was either today or yesterday one of the executives at Warner's made a similar statement about saying that all of the DC properties are all connected in a multiverse, like whether it's the Titans TV show or the Batman Robert Pattinson or Aquaman or whatever, like they're
Gotham.
all connected. Like now we have Feige just literally saying the exact same thing, where he's saying there's a possibility they can pull from. He straight up says where it's a comic book, a video game, or a Marvel television thing. They could pull Miles Morales from, in theory, they can pull him from that PS5 game and say this exact Miles Morales is our Miles Morales now,
They could.
and go off. So it is a possibilities are big, but of course everyone's immediate thoughts is Charlie Cox's Daredevil, which we've talked about like before, being in the Spider-Man 3, and then interesting rumors started coming after our last episode that
Yeah.
Jessica Jones showing up in She-Hulk, and
Yep.
then even further that there's a good chance that Luke Cage will get his own show on Disney Plus
Yep.
with Mike Coulter coming back. So big things coming, man.
Yeah, and there's still that rumor that Punisher is going to be back with like a pseudo soft reboot with John Bernthal back as a Punisher.
Have you finished that, by the way?
Oh yeah. It was excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a long time ago. I finished it. Finished it a while ago, man. Yeah, that was good. That was good. I really like how it ended. Like that last episode was so good. It's like, man, Punisher should be real. I did not say that out loud.
It's okay. I'm sure many fans have said the same.
So yeah, it was good. Joel, we're getting some. I want to treat this with a grain of salt because this is more of a rumor / non-confirmed thing / speculation, but they've asked they asked Liam Neeson if he would be cool if he were to reprise his role as Qui-Gon Jinn in the Obi-Wan limited series for Disney Plus, and he said sure, I'd be up for that, yeah. Which is he probably saw he's in there. Like if he said that, oh yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, why not? He's in there, like either a VO or Force Ghost or you know a memory or flashback or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, he's in, man, and I'm happy.
I really hope so. I really hope he is in it because it only makes sense. I mean, that was one of the main talking points of the end of Revenge of the Sith when Yoda, says, "I will teach you to commune with your master, Qui-Gon." I mean, there's nothing hidden there.
Yeah.
Like if you just jump into a series like this and there's nothing of him communing with Qui-Gon, and like you said, it could just be VO. You don't even have to see the guy. Similar they did to with Rise of Skywalker. Like although that should have been different.
Well, in the case of Qui-Gon, it makes sense, right? Because of him not completing that transition or that training that he was.
Sure.
He could only manifest himself as a voice or an object or light or something, right?
Which they do in the Clone Wars
and Rebels
series,
yeah.
Right? Well, in the Clone Wars, the episode called Voices, in I think it's the last season, where Yoda is going around trying to find out about Order 66, and Qui-Gon and they get Liam Neeson to come back to voice that role. Was talking to Yoda, and he's only a voice, like I said, he's only a light going around.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'd love to see that happen. I don't know if you've seen it. Theory did a really cool breakdown on it, but like behind the scenes stuff from episode Phantom Menace, where like just straight up seeing Liam Neeson training with Ray Park, like full on, really getting into it with the lightsaber fights. It's a great video. I think it's on Theory's channel.
Okay.
But
because he did that a while ago. Yeah. And that's on the Blu-ray.
Behind the scenes. Yeah,
that's on the.
It's crazy seeing Liam Neeson fighting Ray Park.
Nice.
Amazing.
That's cool. This is good news. I think he's going to be in it one way or another. Let's talk about the theory, Joe. What I talked about last week.
Go into it.
Because last week I made a theory about Star Wars and how you can really tell that they've already changed the timeline. You just didn't notice it. So I saw a video. I can't remember the YouTube user, right? But it was basically like the exact same thing that I said last week. And I think the video came out like yesterday, if I'm not wrong, or today, because today's the 13th rounds. Yeah, I think it came out like this morning, dude. Um, and I talked about it last week, where it's clear that there's already two timelines. Um, and but he did point out something interesting that I did not point last week, Joel, and that's when Ray hears the voices at the end of Rise of Skywalker. Ahsoka's one of the voices. That means Ahsoka's dead, right? But she's not.
Which would make sense for that timeline.
For that timeline, exactly.
Because she does die.
Yeah. So, but the rest is basically the exact same thing that I said. You know, the Ben Solo stuff, that it's already, you know, in canon, that he didn't start training until he was 10, but now he's got Grogu, and yeah, dude, it's already done. They just haven't like said it out loud. It's one of those things. Um,
I hope that they carry on and fully go through all the way through with it. I mean, yeah, like I know people want them to do, Old Republic or whatever, and just completely get away from the timeline that they're in and just do something new. But it's cool if they continue on with the way that it's being treated right now, and it's being treated right in this Mandalorian era. So hopefully they carry on with that.
yeah, I think the problem is that people like prequels, right? And I know that Star Wars fans would love to have like Old Republic stuff. I think, in my opinion, right, that Old Republic stuff only appeals to the hardcore Star Wars fan. Bringing in or keeping the I said the timeline going with something that people recognize, like stormtroopers and these things that people know what they are. Because remember when the clones came out, I was like, oh, those stormtroopers look different. They're not stormtroopers, and you have to explain that. So I think just keeping it where in a timeline where both the hardcore fans can get a great story and a great Star Wars experience, right? And something that the casual audience can follow, that's related to the movies, because that's their base of understanding, right? The casual audience that's like, oh, there's like 48 Star Wars books about stuff, I didn't know that. So just keeping it simple, I think it's the best option right now.
I agree with that.
Yeah, and
I agree with that.
And if they want to do like High Republic, which is what they're working on, they're not gonna do Old Republic now for sure. But if they do High Republic stuff, which we know that we're getting a show, right, and the books are already out, then that's that. They can just do like their own thing, right, and then keep the timeline going with like the Book of Boba Fett, Mando, Ahsoka.
I'm going to be honest with you, but I think I may have said it on the show before. I did not have any interest in a Boba Fett movie or anything like that. I thought that
I said the same thing.
I thought he was a cool character and all, but I was like, I don't think it's going to be this amazing thing. And quickly, with how amazing they've handled the Mandalorian, like now I'm like completely pumped for that book of Mandalorian, book of Boba Fett. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that treatment, like you're saying, just carry on with that. It's great.
Yeah, I'm down for it for sure. But yeah, that's it's pretty exciting. Hoping Liam Neeson's actually in it, and that's great. Also, Joel, I don't know if you saw that. Basically, they've confirmed that for the Ahsoka show, Sabine's gonna be like the co-star, and it's gonna be basically them
Rebels
two
live action.
Yep. Them two going to look for Ezra and Thrawn, which is what we sort of already knew what was going on, right? But what other details are going to come out? Fill of the Force, all these things that's been talked about. Yeah, it's probably already in there. So
how hardcore do they go? Do they go easy? I mean, like that episode with Ahsoka was way more grounded and still fantastic. Yeah. I mean, I love that episode, but like, they didn't go too crazy. The craziest part is when you get the the revelations of Grogu and the Thrawn name drop. But
Yeah,
like once you get into this thing, you're telling people like if you haven't seen Rebels, you better. We've been saying this on the show for a while. If you haven't seen Rebels, you have to see it because
especially
it's
now.
now like it's a must in order for you to understand
And
what's
Clone
going
Wars,
on.
because
So
that
like
last season of Clone Wars is fantastic. I mean, the first 4 episodes, the three
yeah, yeah,
episodes,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then the last
Yeah.
four, those are the ones you need to watch.
I love that it begins with a Lucasfilm limited production. Like those, once
Oh,
you
like
see
the
that
old
come up
font.
on your screen,
The
you know it's getting
When you
real.
see the old font come up,
You're
that's
on the right one.
yep, you're on the right episode. Um, yeah, and the same with Rebels. Rebels was actually quite enjoyable, and it's a quick watch. So Clone Wars is a little more. You have to endure the first 2 seasons, and then it really picks up. But you know, yeah, you should watch the shows for sure. Um, so it's pretty exciting. Joel, the last bit of news that I have here is that in conjunction with the 35th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers, Nintendo's releasing a special limited edition blue and red Nintendo Switch. It looks pretty cool.
It's
With a
beautiful.
Super Mario case, all red Switch with the blue Joy-Con adapter. Yeah, man.
You know what I like about though what these special edition versions of these consoles, they're not upping the price for these. Like it's the same price as if you were to buy a standard Switch in better terms, the black or the, red and blue Joy-Con Switch. If you get a Mario one, I think it's 299, I think is what they were saying, this
Yeah,
limited
it's
edition
300.
one.
Yeah,
So it's like and no, like, if you're gonna get a Switch, go get one of those limited edition ones. I mean, that's just a no brainer.
yeah.
It makes someone like me be like, man, just for looks, like it's gorgeous.
The
I don't
Joy-Con
need another
straps.
Switch, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, the Joy-Con straps look really cool.
Yeah.
So this is this it looks quite different. It's quite striking, and I really like it. I think this is probably my favorite out of all the ones that they've released so far. The like the limited edition ones. So yeah, pretty good stuff, man. It looks pretty nice.
Just how is the Nintendo Switch Lite selling? Because I can imagine it's doing great.
So the Switch Lite, you could find it throughout the holidays in stores. So when the quarantine started, you couldn't find anything.
Right, right.
So I didn't see a Switch Lite in store until like probably like August. So like from April to August, I didn't see anything. August, I saw a few at Target. Then the next time I went to Target, they were all gone. And then a couple weeks later, there were a few more. When like October came in, there was plenty of stock of that because they really restocked for the holidays. But if you go to Target, like to give you an example again, I went to Target 2 weeks ago. They had a bunch, and they had a bunch of the regular Switches. I went last week. All the regular Switches was gone, and then they only have like one gray light. So it's selling.
Wow.
It's selling.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good for them.
Yeah, yeah. I think that thing's doing pretty good. I think it's doing pretty good in Japan too. So, because it's more mobile and it's something that, the Japanese audience probably relates to more. It's something that they're used to now, like their games being mobile. So in Japan, I know it's for a fact that it's selling really well. So, yeah, cool. Wonder if we're gonna see any new colors on that this year.
Yeah.
And there's still rumors that they're gonna announce a new one in March. Like that's been going around for the last few days.
Switch Pro,
Like a
or
Switch,
maybe
like a
new
Switch
dock
Pro
or something.
Yeah, they're calling it Switch Pro with a Dock Pro or whatever, and it's like basically a 1080p screen on the Switch, and a 4K upscaler on the dock, with like better performance for like better frame rate and whatnot. So
Like
we'll
we've
see.
said before, you could just buy the dock and put your Switch on that. And
Yeah, that would be ideal. Yeah, yeah, but that probably won't guarantee you getting better like frame rate.
right,
So
right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, cool, good stuff, man.
Good
I
stuff.
think Nintendo's doing really well. Do you watch the that trailer for Super Mario 3D World, Bowser's Fury.
I did. I'm
Yeah.
so excited. Next month. I mean, we're days away.
So yeah, so I told my daughter, it's like, well, if you do good in school, when school's over, I'll get that for you. But I have a theory, on that trailer.
Yuri.
I think that Bowser's Fury thing that they're doing, that expansion, it's a test because I don't know if you noticed the how it's laid out, right? I think that's a test for an open world Mario game
Ooh.
to see how well they can actually make Mario work in an open world scenario. Although like Super Mario Odyssey, it's open world ish. Like the levels are
Yeah.
pretty big, but it's basically multiple worlds, but they are pretty expansive. But this is probably more of like how can we make Mario work in an open world scenario
Hmm.
because this looks radically different than the 3D World game. So this whatever the next Mario game is, the next big Mario game is, it's probably going to be something similar to this. I think they're testing. It's like that's usually what they do, right? They did that with Majora's Mask. It was like, all right, let's see how well you do with a game. You have 3 weeks to create a game, and you got Majora's Mask, and then that team went on to make Twilight Princess. So that's usually how Nintendo operates. So they probably took part of that team, said, "Hey guys, you do something open world. I don't know, come up with something with Mario." And I think that's what it is. So
I
they're
would
they're
love for that to be true. I'm here for that as well.
yeah, I think they're definitely looking into that. But uh, Joel, that's what we got, man. If you want to just go ahead and plug us in, sir.
Absolutely. Good people of the little time. Thank you very much for sticking with us. We invite you to stay connected, so make sure that you are subscribed to No Load Time on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Sorry. Follow us on there. I'm tired, guys. Sorry. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're also on Twitch. Subscribe to us on, of course, our iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube. We welcome you to stay subscribed and get notifications whenever we drop a new episode. Of course, you can always send an email to us, noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. Thank you all very much, and we look forward to seeing you on our next episode.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you again next time.